I'm turning 28 in 4 days, and so I thought, what better time to make this video than now? I want to talk about 27 things that I have learned in 27 years. Now, none of this is in order of importance. This is just all the lessons that I could think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there are many, many more lessons that I did not think of in the moment, and I will probably think of once I'm done filming this video. But for now, here they are. So number one, I have everything is temporary. Yes, everything is temporary, which means that we never, ever, ever need to make a permanent decision off of a temporary feeling. I validate and I understand that sometimes things in life feel like it's the end of the world. Believe me, I have been there. But at the end of the day, everything passes, and whatever you're going through, I promise you that you're gonna get through it, even if it feels impossible right now. Number two, you have to be selfish to be selfless. I have struggled with this. I struggled with this for a very, very long time, and I'm still working on it. But being the oldest of four to a single parent, I have always felt kind of the need to help take care of everything, make sure that everything is under control with my siblings, with my mom. And it has come at the cost sometimes of me not taking care of myself in the ways that I need to. That's happened with family, that's happened with friends, it's happened on multiple situations because I just want to be there for people. You know, I'm caring, I want people to feel loved. But at the end of the day, if you wear yourself too thin, you're not going to be able to give back. And so until you take care of yourself, until you be selfish, which by the way, it's not selfish to take care of yourself, but until you're selfish, you cannot be selfless because you will have nothing to give. So take care of yourself first. Number three, you do not fall in love, you grow in love. And I feel like that is the biggest misconception. Everyone is waiting for that feeling. Oh, if I don't have that feeling, if I don't get that feeling, this must not be it. I want to fall in love. I want to fall head over heels in love. But you know what? You don't. You may fall in lust. You may really, really have feelings for this person, but you don't fall in love. Love is deep, love is strong, love is meaningful, and that's why you don't just have it with anyone. So I've been with my boyfriend for 8.5 years, and you know what? Every single time that we're faced with a struggle or an obstacle in our life, even if in those moments they feel hard and impossible and like, how is this true? How can we be meant to be if we have to go through this? Like, there's no way. If it was meant to be, then it would just be easy, right? It would just be easy because love is easy and you fall in love and then once you fall in love, it's just a fairy tale. No, it's not. Every single time that we have to go through something tough and challenging to our relationship, we grow that much stronger. We bond together. Each and every day, I find new reasons to love my boyfriend because I get to know him more. I get to do more experiences with him. We get to grow together. So if you're waiting for that feeling, I'm sorry, you gotta go out and you gotta create it. You teach people how to treat you. Yeah, you absolutely do. But for so long, I didn't understand why people would just walk all over me. And as much as people shouldn't, they do. And if you allow it, they will, because people will get away with what you allow them to get away with. And if they disrespect you and you do nothing about it, they're gonna keep disrespecting you. It's easy for them to not have to try to be good. It's easy if you're always gonna let it slide and do this and do that. Of course, they don't have to care about how they come across. So don't get upset if someone is taking advantage of you if you're allowing that to happen. Either stand your ground, walk out their life, or realize that it's on you that you're letting that happen. No, it's not okay that they're doing that. I am not ever, ever, ever justifying that. But it's on you to decide if that's the type of behavior that you want in your life. Number five, everyone is on their own journey and comparison really kills happiness. Again, I've been with my boyfriend for almost 9 years. The amount of people that I have seen get engaged, get married, have babies, buy a house, endless people in the past almost 9 years. But do you know what? That's not my journey. That wasn't meant for me. And you know, each year I think, oh, well, I'm gonna get proposed to this year. Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And you know what? When it doesn't happen, when I'm further along in life, I realize there's a reason it didn't. Oh, if we would have got married and we went through this, it may have broken. Like, there's so many things. And also, you don't know what's going on in other people's life. You have no idea. So who are you to compare yourself when you're not them, you're not in their situation, and 9 times out of 10, you don't even fully understand their situation. So don't compare yourself. You are great. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You got this. Number 6, expectations set you up for disappointment. So many times I go into things with high hopes, expecting that it is just gonna be the best thing in the whole entire world, whatever the thing may be. And 9 times out of 10, my expectations are up here and people fall right here. Does that mean that they're falling on the bottom? No. It means that I'm expecting this extravagant thing. Yes, you always wanna hope for the best, but you can't expect things from people. You can expect things to happen. So yes, be positive, be optimistic, but go in with an open mind. Because if you go in with an open mind, more likely than not, you're gonna be more easy to adapt to whatever happens. And you're not gonna be unhappy. And you can adapt to that situation and you can enjoy that situation, even if it wasn't the way that you initially imagined it. Number 7, you do not grow in your comfort zone. I have a little story time for you real quick. So I completely agree with that. If you grew in your comfort zone, that makes no sense because this is where you already are. But why are you growing when you're not doing anything different? Today I filmed a reel and I was rapping. I don't know if we can actually call it rapping, but I made a song about lymph nodes and the lymphatic system because I know that songs help me remember things. And so I thought if I can make a song, I can help my clients remember things too. Education, knowledge, it's power. How can I make it stick? And so I filmed this video. The whole time I was editing it, I felt silly. You know, I felt like I'm gonna post this and everyone is going to laugh in my face. But do you know what? I am not where I want to be in my business. So why do I think that if I continuously do the same thing every single time, that I'm going to get any further? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. So I need to switch it up. And because this made me feel uncomfortable, I knew I had to do it. I knew it was different. Does this mean that this is going to grow me all the success? No, but it's a start. Number 8, you cannot let someone be your happiness. I am guilty that in the beginning of my relationship, I became very codependent. I really was infatuated by my boyfriend, as I still am. But you know what I mean? And it was to the point where it's like, if I didn't see him, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do with my day? Like I need to see him. Or what if one day I go to his house and, you know, he's not having the best day, you know? That would destroy me. What is wrong? Why is he not being so loving? Why is he not being so happy? What did I do? And my whole life is just shattering before my eyes because he's not giving me all of this that he usually does. But you know what? One, that's not realistic. You can't put your needs in the hands of somebody else. Also, that's a really big responsibility to give someone, to have on their shoulders, to be responsible for your happiness. So you need to come as a happy person. You need to come as a whole person. So we are not 2 half individuals trying to make it work, or we're not one whole individual trying to hold it down for everyone. We gotta be complete. We gotta be happy. Does that mean that you need to be perfect to be in a relationship? Does that mean you need to be perfect to have friends? Absolutely not. But you need to have some root of happiness within yourself that no matter what, I would say happiness and confidence, to be honest, that no matter what happens, it's okay. If someone drops the ball, it's fine because you know what? I'm okay. I'm happy, I'm content, and I'm confident. Number 9, you have to enjoy the journey. If you have been subscribed to me for a minute, you know your girl is struggling to enjoy the journey. She just wants to get to her destination. She just wants to be successful. She just wants to live out all of her dreams right now, today. That's not realistic. And you know what? If I continue to stay so focused on the outcome and I don't enjoy the journey, I am going to miss a lot of my life. Because to be honest with you, I want to continuously get better, which means that maybe I will never reach my destination. So why am I not enjoying everything that is creating the bigger picture along the way? Why am I not just enjoying and embracing life on a daily basis? Number 10, you can restart your day. My boyfriend taught me this, and I think it's helped me many times, and I feel like mindset is everything. So this is what you do. You're having a bad day, and you're just having a bad day. But that's okay, because you could just restart your day. You know, you can just Restart it. Who is to tell you that you can't restart your day? Because you know what? It's your day. So mentally, restart it. Reframe, restart your mindset. Instead of being like, oh, today's a bad day, just restart it. Restart it as if it wasn't a bad day. And today's gonna be a good day. It's really just that. If you tell yourself that it's a good day and you search for the positive, you're gonna find it. It's just as easy to find the negative. So why are we not out here searching for the positive? If you're having a bad day, do not accept it. Do not settle for less. Restart your day and you have that good day. 11, cancellation fees are not mean. They are necessary. Okay, I had to throw in some business stuff here because you know, again, if you've been watching my videos, I have not taught people how to treat me. I have not implemented cancellation fees. And that's why I'm trying to tell you so you can learn from my mistakes. Cancellation fees are not mean. If someone is booking an appointment, they should attend their appointments. It's only respectful. I would do the same for anybody else. If I make an appointment, I'm going to attend. And if I cancel last minute, it only makes sense that I'm going to get charged. Because think about this. What if you go to work one day and, you know, you're ready to work, you're ready to provide, and then, you know, your boss is like, you know what, today you're not going to get paid though. Like, I want you to come to work. I want you to get ready for work, but you're not going to get paid. Okay? Exactly. You would not be happy because you have a job to make money. It's not volunteer work. So just as much when you own a business, you are everything. You don't have someone just paying you. You're not on payroll. So if you don't implement these things to protect yourself, you are going to screw yourself over and you are going to lose so much money. Because if people don't have repercussions, they're going to take advantage of you. And I hate to say it like that, but at the end of the day, that's what happens. Number 12, being sensitive is not a bad thing. Yes, I cry. Yes, my feelings get hurt. Yes, I can see a random person on the side of the road and get sad. And you know what? For so long, I thought that being sensitive was a bad thing. For so long, people made me feel like it was a bad thing. They said it like, oh, you're so sensitive. Oh, don't be so sensitive. But do you know what? I'm learning, yeah, maybe I am a little too sensitive. But you know what? I'm also a little too caring too. I care so much. So yes, let me be sensitive because that's what makes me have such a big heart. I care a lot. And so that's not a bad thing. And I'm not gonna let anybody tell me that ever again. That's a piece of me and I'm not ashamed of it. Number 13, focusing on your breathing while getting a tattoo helps. I have about 7 or 8 tattoos. I have some on my spine, some on my ribs, my hip, my thigh, my finger. I have them in all different places and my collarbone. Oof, this one was the worst. But I have them in places that are kind of painful or traditionally painful. And so what I have noticed is I don't talk during my tattoos. And like, if you have if you're just like killing it and you just love it, like I've heard of people that laugh during tattoos. I don't know about that. I guess you don't need this tip. But I feel like even when I like have to give blood, they try to talk to me and I'm like, please don't talk to me. I need to focus. So I don't talk during my tattoos. I just focus on my breathing because if I focus on the fact of what is actually going on my skin, I'm going to freak out. So the whole time I just zone out. I just steady your breathing. You're so focused on your breathing. Basically, you're meditating yourself while you get a tattoo. And I have personally found that is what helps me. So focus on your breathing if you're nervous about getting a tattoo. And hopefully it will take away the thought of how scary it is. Number 14, you cannot seek validation from other people. Kind of feel like that goes hand in hand with you can't let other people be your happiness. But at the end of the day, you need to be okay with yourself. If you're waiting for other people to tell you you're enough, yeah, there are some people out there that will tell you that. There's people that love you and they will tell you that you're enough. But there's also a lot of people in this world that are going to tell you that you're awful and you're not enough and you're not worth it. Come on the internet, read the comments. People are so mean to other people. And if you live through the validation of other people, it's truly going to wreck you. You are enough and you need to believe that for yourself. So nobody can tell you differently, okay? Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're less than. Do not, ever, because you are more than enough. Number 15, you don't find love, love finds you. I was 19 years old. I was jaded. I believed that there was no such thing as love. I felt like everybody settled because they did not want to be alone, but I did not believe that they were in love. In love? What does that even mean? The amount of times that I had got screwed over when I put my heart out there. Yes, I did not have a boyfriend, but I put my heart out there many times, and people walked all over it and smashed it. And I thought, okay, cool. Bet if this is what life is like, I don't want any part of it. And so I ended up hanging out with my boyfriend one day. My boyfriend now at the time, but at the time he was, he was just a guy, and I ended up hanging out with him. I had no intentions of becoming more than friends. I literally was just going to chill with a homie. That's how I pictured. I was not thinking he was cute. I was not thinking I wanted to be with him. I had no intentions past just trying to chill. And let me tell you, I fell so hard for him. That man taught me, why am I getting goosebumps right now? That man taught me that there is a such thing as love. There is a such thing as being in love. And I promise you that when you feel it, you're gonna know. Yes, I understand that I said you don't fall in love, but each day, the way that this man treated me, he made me feel like I was enough. He made me feel like I was worth having around. For so long in my life, I was walked all over. I was bullied. I was told that my body was disgusting and that nobody would ever love me. I grew up really skinny and small, and I was a very tiny person, and I had acne, and people really hated on me. And I started to hate myself. If everyone is saying this, obviously it's true. Obviously I'm ugly. Obviously I'm disgusting. Obviously no one is gonna love me. And do you know why no one's gonna love me? Because love doesn't exist. But my boyfriend, he loved me for me. Even when we weren't in love yet, he loved me for me. Your person is out there if you haven't found them, I promise you. And just do your life and it will come. When it's meant to be, it will find you. You don't look for love. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of struggle with, is they go out seeking to get love. They seek that, but you know what? Sometimes we don't know what's best for ourselves. And that's why we just have to trust that everything is going to work out. Just like I said, things that scare you grow you. You don't grow inside your comfort zone. I was so scared to post that video today. But do you know what? Why am I going to keep doing the same thing if I'm not getting the correct outcome? If you haven't found your person yet, maybe you don't know what to look for. And just do your life, work on yourself, become the very best version of yourself. So when that person comes along and you guys cross paths, you are going to be that whole, confident, happy person. And that in itself is going to make your love stronger. Number 16. If you don't try, you've already failed. And I can promise you, every shot that you don't take, you're gonna miss. So many people are like, well, I don't wanna start because what if I fail? Like, I don't wanna do it because I don't wanna fail. Well, guess what? By you not doing it, you have failed because you are still not doing it. Imagine if you would have tried, and then imagine if it would have been successful. Or imagine if you would have tried and you would have failed. But guess what? You failed and you realized, okay, let me think back to what I did. What can I do better next time? You can learn from your mistakes and then you can try again and you can try again. And that's not failure. That's progress. That's amazing. That is admirable that you are willing to put yourself out there even if you fail, because failures teach you. Those are the best teachers of all. So don't sit in your comfort zone and make excuses that the only reason you're not trying is because you don't want to fail. That's not admirable. It's not. It makes you scared. And if you want to do it, you need to do it. Make yourself proud. Number 17, life does not give you things that you cannot handle. Now, I understand people go through some very awful things. I went through my own share of things, and I know that there are plenty of people on the internet that have had it worse and have had it better than me. But at the end of the day, did you survive? Yes, you did. Did it hurt? Did it break your heart? Did you cry? Did you get mad? Yeah, you probably did. But you know what? You're still here. Because you know why? Everything is temporary. Now don't tell me, oh, but such and such passed away. That's not temporary. I understand that. And I wish I could take your pain away. I wish I could bring that person back for you. I truly do. I have lost way too many people in my life, and I'm only 27 years old. They passed much earlier than 27. And the fact that I have lost people that were once older than me, and now I'm older than them, it breaks my heart. So believe me when I say I understand. But what I'm trying to say is even through those hard times, you're gonna make it through. And that heartbreaking feeling, it is temporary. Does it mean that your heart is ever gonna feel as whole as it did? Maybe not. But that extreme feeling is gonna go away because you're gonna learn how to handle it. You're gonna learn how to cope with it. And it's gonna be okay because you're strong. and you've got this. Number 18, the world talks to you if you're willing to listen. I am spiritual. I know some of y'all aren't and you might think I'm crazy, but you know what? I feel like sometimes the world gives you signs and you just have to go for it. I just feel like sometimes we have to be open to change, and there's a reason that things are changing in our life, even if we don't understand why. And we just need to trust that there is a reason that it's happening. The world is trying to tell you that there's a shift gonna happen, or there's a change you need to make, or something. So listen, be open-minded. Number 19, if something makes you happy, you don't need to justify yourself to anybody. Who made them in charge of your life? Please tell me, please tell me. Oh wait, they didn't. No one made them in charge of your life, because you know who's in charge of your life? You. You're in charge of your life. And if you are happy, do not let anyone take that away from you. If you are doing something that makes you happy and you are thriving, do not let anybody dim that light. You're doing you, and that in itself is admirable, and you deserve to be happy. So don't let anyone take that away from you. Number 20, crying doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And I mean that for every single person in this world. It is a normal, natural thing. We have emotions, and it's okay to cry. To be honest, if you never cry, you should probably go cry right now. No, I don't want you to cry, but I'm just saying that if you're feeling something, you should not feel ashamed to cry. If you feel it deeply, you need to let it out. There is a reason that you feel that you need to let it out. Don't let the world ever make you feel ashamed of being human. Okay? I know that so many men and boys are told that crying is weak. You're not weak, you're human. And it breaks my heart that people feel like they can't express their emotions. So many people are struggling internally because they don't feel comfortable to let it out externally. And so I'm telling you right now, cry. Do it. You're not weak. You're human, and honestly, you're stronger for crying because the world tries to make you feel bad about it. Be you. Cry. Cry when you're happy. Cry when you're sad. Cry when you feel like you need to cry, and don't ever feel like you have to explain yourself to anyone about it. Number 21, love is more important than money. Yes, I hope that one day I can be financially stable and I can have all the things that I need, a comfortable life. I do hope that. That's why I want a successful business. I am not saying that money does not help. I'm not saying that money is not necessary. I truly believe, this might be controversial. I can't even say that word. But I think that money can help you get to happiness. Do I think if you're a very, very unhappy person, money will buy you happiness? No. But I do feel like if you spend your money in the right ways, you can help achieve your goals to get you to happiness. But that's not what we're talking about right now. Love is more important than money. Growing up, we did not have a lot of money. We didn't get to go on vacations. We didn't really get to do all of the other things that all the other kids in my school would do. We would come back from summer break and the teacher would be like, oh, raise your hand and tell us what you did for the summer. And everyone's like, oh, I went to Hawaii. I went to Disneyland. I've never been to Disneyland in my whole entire life, and I'm 27 years old. I went to Hawaii for the first time last year because I surprised my boyfriend for his 30th birthday. So at 26 years old, I went to Hawaii for the first time. That's fine. But what I'm trying to tell you is, growing up, I was always like, why don't I do those things? Like, why don't I get to go do those things? Because I didn't understand. And you know, I'm not saying that those kids that got to go on those vacations and do those things did not have love in their life. I'm not saying that at all. I don't know anything about their life. But what I can tell you is that looking back onto my childhood, I don't think about all the things I didn't get to do. I think about that regardless to what situation we were in, my mom loved me so much. My mom never made me doubt that she loved me. And that's something that you hold on to for the rest of your life. So I'm telling you right now, a child of a teen mom and a single parent, you don't have to have everything to make your kids happy. Just love them. Just make them know that you care about them, because that's what's gonna stick with them. When they look back to their childhood, they're gonna think, was my mom there for me? Was my dad there for me? That's what matters. 22, life is not just black and white. When my boyfriend and I first started dating, he was very, very, very logical, and I was very, very emotional. We were completely two opposite sides. So you can imagine that when we would get into conflict, we were butting heads. We were not seeing eye to eye because he believed there was a right and there was a wrong. And that's just what it was. And I was not raised that way. I do not believe that. I believe that you know, say there's a little bit of this that contributed, there's a little bit of this that contributed. Yes, logically this makes sense, but emotionally this is how I'm feeling, and it's all intertwined. I think there's a lot of gray areas, but I also think that it's very important that we are not on one side or the other. We cannot be too logical, we cannot be too emotional. I think that we need to have a balance of both, because that's how life works. We are human, we have emotions. Yes, there are logical reasons for why things are done, but if you're trying to communicate with somebody, you're never gonna get anywhere if you don't acknowledge their feelings, their emotions. Because regardless to if there's a correct way to do something or not, it does not mean that it didn't make someone feel a certain type of way. And that may have contributed to the situation as a whole. So again, I think the moral of this whole video is be open-minded. Number 23, if it's meant to be, it'll be. I'm really not trying to bring up like my boyfriend for all of these examples, but he's truly my best friend in the whole entire world, and we've been together for so long that I have learned a lot of these lessons with him. You know, I was 19 years old when we first started dating. I'm gonna be 28 next week, or in like 4 days. So yes, I've learned a lot of my lessons with him, through him. But if it's meant to be, it will be. And what I mean by that is, you know, a very long time ago, I want to say like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, my boyfriend and I went through a very, very, very hard time, to the point that we needed to separate. And we just knew that if we did not separate, that we could potentially end up resenting each other. And, you know, he was my best friend and I loved him with all of my heart. He was my first love. He was my first boyfriend, you know, and I thought that he was going to be the father of my children and my husband one day, and we were going to buy a house, and I just had this whole life in my head that I wanted. And if we just kept going back and forth, we were going to end up resenting ourselves, and at the end of the day, we probably weren't going to work out as a couple, and we definitely weren't going to be able to be friends. And so we took time apart, and I'm going to tell you, that was probably I've been through some stuff since then, but at the time, that was one of the hardest things I had been through emotionally, because I spent every single day with this person. I lived with him, you know, like this was my person. This was my forever. And we took time apart. We did not talk. I moved back in with my grandma. We did not talk. We did not text. We did not see each other. And this went on for a month. Each day I just would think about my future, and then I would have to tell myself, Amanda, stop picturing him in your future. That's done. Like, it's done. It's been a month. You have not talked. Mind you, we have never not talked for one day in our life. Whether it was just over text, it never been like this. And I needed to come to the realization that it was done. Like, this was for real. And so I focused on myself, because that's all I could do. I was forced to focus on myself, you know? And 1 month goes by and I get a text from him. And he's like, hey, how have you been? Mind you, I thought I would never talk to him ever again. And I don't respond, because I think like, I still want to be with him. Like, don't get me wrong. When I saw that text, my heart was like, okay. But also like, I was like, what do I do? Like, I don't want to be rude and not respond, but like, this was the love of my life. And I don't want to get tangled up in these feelings when I've been trying so hard all month to focus on myself and try to detach, you know, like I have to accept, like, it's done. And I just felt like, you know, maybe he just wants to be friends, but I'm not there. Like, I don't want to be friends. All or nothing, right? And so I don't respond. And that next morning, you know, he texted me at night. That next morning, I go out to my car to go to work, and there is a letter on my windshield. When I did not reply to his text, he drove to my house in the middle of the night, wrote me a letter, and left it on my car so I could get it in the morning. I opened up that letter, and basically he was telling me that he loved me so much, and that I was the only girl for him, and that this time apart made him really realize that like he does want to be with me, and that we do want to work things out. And I couldn't believe it. I really, really couldn't believe it. Like, I truly believed that we were done forever. And it's really weird, because my mind was telling me, Amanda, accept it, you're done. But my heart, it just, something in my heart kept telling me it's not done. Like, this is still your person. And so I trusted the process. And 1 month later, we started talking again. And well, we'll be celebrating 9 years in December. So trust the process. If it's meant to be, it'll come back for you. You just have to trust. And honestly, if we never took that break, we would not be here today. Like I said, like, things happen for a reason. And even if I didn't understand the reason in the moment, like, I'm so glad that it did. Like, I'm so glad that it happened, because even though it was really hard, it gave me time. It forced me to have time with myself, to learn myself, to get to know myself and become a better version of myself. So when I came back to that relationship, we were both better, more whole people. And truly, we're unstoppable now. Number 24. Just because you've been through trauma, just because you have trauma, you are not broken. And I just want you to know that right now. Like, this one is really personal to me, because I have been through some things in my life, more specifically my childhood, and I refuse to be a victim. I am 27 years old. I am an adult at this point, and I am in charge of my actions and how I react to things. With that being said, given the trauma that I have experienced, it does make it easier said than done sometimes. It's not just that simple for me to just whatever. There are things that happen in life that trigger me because of my childhood. And at times, I truly feel like I am broken. I feel like, why is life so hard? If only I could just be a whole person, life wouldn't be so hard. If only I wasn't so broken and I didn't have this trauma, I could get along with people better. Like, why? Why am I so broken? But you're not, and I'm not. We're not broken. Yeah, we've been through some stuff. Yeah, life maybe is harder sometimes for us, but you're not broken. And the right person is going to love you for everything. The good, the bad, all of it. I mean, you need to work on yourself. You can't just accept that something has happened to you and that's just how it is. That's just how I am. Of course, you need to work on yourself, but don't ever for 1 second think that you're broken or you're not enough. You didn't choose to go through those things. By allowing yourself to think that you're broken, you're still giving that power. Whatever that was, you're giving it power, and it doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve that power. You deserve more. Let yourself be free of that. You're enough, and you always will be enough. All right, number 25. At your absolute best, you still won't be good enough for the wrong person. And at your worst, you will always be worth it for the right person. I had to share this because actually the story of my boyfriend and I meeting is a very long story, so I'm not going to share it right now. But basically, the last step to us finally meeting was I had that posted on my Instagram, as a little quote. And he liked it and he commented, stealing. I had no idea who this person was. I'm gonna tell you that 8.5 years later, we have been through some stuff. Like I said, I doubt myself that I'm enough sometimes. And we've been through some times. And he has seen me at my absolute worst. To be honest with you, I feel like sometimes he knows me better than my family. And he's never made me feel less than. And there are many, many people that if they saw the things that I go through or the situations or whatever, they would judge me and they would walk out of my life. And I'm so, so grateful that I have someone in my life that loves me for me, even in my darkest times. And I just want you to know that if you're with someone or someone makes you feel like you're not enough, it's not you, because you've always been enough. And maybe you just haven't found the right person yet. Number 26, if you want to be known, you gotta stand out. I wear pink every single time that I go to the salon because I want people to know that girl in the pink, that's the girl that owns a lymphatic business. I need to implant that in their head. Find your signature thing so people remember you. Make yourself known. Be annoying. Because if you're not annoying promoting yourself, who else is? Who else is gonna fight for your dreams if it's not you? So every single time that I go to the salon, I wear pink. I've had my business, it will be 7 months on the 27th. And it's gotten to a point now where one day I did not wear pink. I wore a flag shirt. It was like a red, white, and blue flag shirt because it was 4th of July. And then somebody in the suites was like, oh, Amanda, no pink today? Exactly. I am known as the pink girl. I am known as the pink lymphatic girl. Let me tell you another one. I wear pink every single day. I'm all girly. Another lady doesn't even know my name. She calls me Barbie, but I'm known. I am known. And anytime that I go to an event, if I'm not wearing pink, I'm wearing something that stands out so people remember me. For example, I went to a grand opening for a plastic surgeon and I wanted to stand out. So I wore a bright blue bucket hat. Another time I had my first pop-up and I wore a hot pink suit. People are gonna remember the girl in the hot pink suit. So if you want to be remembered, you need to stand out. There is so many people in this world and there's so many people that are doing the same thing. So don't fall victim to, oh, well, this industry is saturated, that's why I'm not successful. No, you're not successful because you're not standing out. You're not being unique. You're not being yourself, imitating everybody else. Be yourself, be unique, and stand out, and I promise you, you're gonna get a lot further in life. And finally, number 27. This is my last one that I have for you because I'm only 27 years old right now, so I don't have 28 lessons for you yet. No, so my number 27 is, just because people don't express their emotions does not mean that they don't care. I have been very, very guilty of this one too. Like I said, I am a very emotional person. But I can't expect that everybody else in the world is. I can't expect that everyone is going to express their emotions and their feelings the exact same way that I am. I can't expect that when I give them a present, that they're gonna jump up and down and be happy and smiling just because that's how I would be. I can't expect that that's how somebody else is gonna be. But just because they don't act like that, does that mean that they don't like the gift I got them? Does that mean that it's trash? Does that mean I just should have thrown it away? No. Okay, well, what if you tell them something sad or something and they just look at you and they're just like, oh yeah. Does that mean they don't care? Does that mean it doesn't make them sad too? No, not necessarily. It could mean a variety of things. I mean, yes, of course, the obvious one, it could mean that they genuinely do not care. But 9 times out of 10, it's because, one, they were raised to not show their emotions. They are not comfortable with showing their emotions. They're not familiar with how to express their emotion. Number 2, they have a different personality than you, so they're not gonna act the exact same way that you do. And I think that you just need to keep that in mind. I need to keep that in mind, that we were not all raised the same, and so we're not all gonna act the same. And there has been so many times in my relationship and in my life that I was raised a certain type of way. This is how we handle things. And I see somebody else handling a different way. I was like, well, why are they doing that? That's wrong. It's not wrong. It's just different. Open-minded, right? I need to stay open-minded, just like y'all need to stay open-minded. So yes, those are my 27 lessons that I have learned in 27 years. I hope that you were able to gain something from this video. I really hope so. I tried to think of the best ones that I could think of that have helped me through my life, things that I'm still trying to work on to this day. I want to be an inspiration. I want to be that friend that you go to. I want you to come to my channel and I want you to feel like you've gained something. And I want you to be happy and I want you to feel fulfilled. And I don't know, I'm just a 27-year-old girl. But I love you all so, so much. Thank you again for all the continued support. Like, it means truly everything to me. And I guess until next time, besties, I'll see you once I'm 28 years old.